Wondering why people are moving out of California? There are many reasons for this development, which include high cost of living, crisis, crime rate, high state taxes, and much more. People moving out of California, and in big numbers. Nearly 700,000 people moved out of the Golden State last year alone. There are many reasons for even long-term California residents to ditch the state and migrate out of it. Watch this video till the end to learn about the main ones. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about why people are moving out of California. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top reasons why people are moving out of California. Number 1. Rising state taxes. The current top marginal income tax rate is 13.3%, but legislators want to raise to nearly 17%. The move would not only affect rich California residents but also small business owners, many of whom are struggling due to COVID-19 related shutdowns and restrictions. The sales tax is already over 7% and there is a 50-cent gas tax. What's more, California residents can't even deduct most of their state taxes from their federal taxes thanks to President Trump's Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. While other states also have high tax rates, California is one of only 2 states with a tax rate of over 10%, the other being Hawaii. To make matters worse, California state legislators are now talking about retroactive taxes and even an exit tax for rich state residents who ditch California for greener pastures. Number 2. Housing crisis. The median cost of a house in California is a whopping $600,000. And according to the latest data from Zillow, the average rent in California in mid-2020 is $2,800, way more than the national average of $1,600. Put simply, if you're not rich or willing to live with friends or relatives, you just can't afford to live in the state. Local jurisdictions in California hold enormous sway over what gets built. Officials have often caved to NIMBY, not in my backyard, pressure against new development, much of it in the name of protecting the environment or preserving neighborhood character. California has had a long-term housing shortage for a number of reasons. Many Californians attempted to get around these problems by building homes out of town. Sadly, these homes are often constructed in areas that have been devastated by recent fires. More on the wildfires issue later. Number 3. Political problems. Many California residents strongly support their state's policies. However, many conservative and even moderate voters feel the state is moving too far to the left. Conservative journalist Ben Shapiro recently commented on his personal decision to leave the state, citing growing union influence, restrictions on law enforcement officials, looting, and the end of standardized testing in state universities as some of the reasons he's moving to another state. Others say they feel their vote doesn't count in California, while still others complain that politicians cater to the needs of large cities without considering the needs and wishes of rural residents. Number 4. Social and economic problems. California has more than 150,000 homeless people, more than any other state. Some of them are mentally ill and/or addicted to drugs. They wander the streets, defecating where and when they please. They expose themselves in areas where they can be seen by children. And many other problems that residents report. Former residents note that homeless individuals can be seen all over town, even in wealthy residential areas. Others complain that homeless encampments have risen in suburban areas across the state. Many former state residents feel that the state government is either not doing what's needed to solve the problem or is actually making the problem worse. Number 5. Filth. It's not uncommon to see human poop in the state's largest cities, with San Francisco winning the award as the doo-doo capital of the U.S. Former state residents note that the large homeless population is to blame for the problem and accuse the state government of not doing enough to address the issue. Others have expressed concerns about the spread of diseases in large homeless encampments that don't have proper sanitary facilities. Number 6. Insecurity. Violent crime is on the rise and many feel the COVID-19 lockdowns are to blame for the problem. While some people think that California is slashing police budgets as rioters run around town unchecked, others complain about state laws that make it difficult for people to take matters into their own hands in the wake of an attempted robbery. Former residents also blame prosecutors, accusing them of letting criminals run free. This reason plays a role in the acceleration of the California outmigration as people are seeking security and stability, as well as affordable housing, in other states. Number 7. Devastating wildfires. Last year, over 8,500 fires burned almost 2 million hectares of land in California. This makes 2020 the biggest wildfire season in California's history. Former residents that moved out of California express frustration over the fact that the fires aren't likely to become less dangerous in the near future. Others say they'll leave if their home burns down one more time, as they simply can't take the cycle of continual rebuilding and destruction. What's more, the fires don't just impact those in rural areas. California's largest cities were blanketed with thick smoke as the fires raged, forcing urban residents to stay indoors until the fires subsided. Number 8. Ease of working from home. Remote workers don't have to live in California to work for a California-based company, and many are opting to move to cities with a lower cost of living. In fact, a recent survey found up to 43% of California residents who can work from anywhere are thinking about picking up stakes and heading for greener pastures. Even the recent fall in housing prices apparently isn't enough to make up for the fact that state residents can often save money by moving to a state with a lower tax rate. Who's leaving California? Most pundits agree that it's mostly middle and low-income people who are leaving the state. It's not hard to see why. It's difficult, if not impossible, for middle and low-class workers to find a decent place to live in any of California's big cities. What's more, the cost of groceries, utilities, and transportation is higher than the national average. At the same time, it's not just poor and middle-class Californians who have discovered that the Golden State isn't as shiny and promising as it looks. Even upper-class media industry workers and wealthy individuals are leaving the state for one reason or another. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your thoughts on why are people leaving California in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.